Today I'll show you how to unlock multi-frame generation in Starfield using the latest DLSS Enabler. This mod works across NVIDIA, AMD, even Intel cards, so let's break down how to set it up. To unlock multi-frame generation in Starfield, you need two files, the DLSS Enabler mod and the Streamline SDK. First, download the DLSS Enabler 4.0.0.12 latest version from Nexus Mods. I'll drop a link description below for your convenience. Note that this file is intended only for offline and single-player games, as stated by the modding community. Make sure if you're downloading anything from the Nexus Mods website, you'll need a Nexus Mods account. Just create a free account, sign in, then go back to the DLSS Enabler download page. Navigate to the Files tab, click Manual Download, and choose Slow Download. Okay, now you've got the DLSS Enabler mod file. Next, let's grab the Streamline SDK from GitHub. Head to the Releases section, pick the latest SDK, and under Assets, download the zip file to your PC. Now let's dive into the installation part. Go to your Downloads folder and find the DLSS Enabler 4.0.0.12 zip file and the Streamline SDK zip file. Move both to your desktop for easy access. Open the DLSS Enabler zip with WinRAR or 7-zip, then go to your Starfield install path. Make sure you're in the folder where starfield.exe is located. Drag and drop the included version.dll file into this folder. Next, open the Streamline SDK zip. Go into the bin, x64 folder. But before do anything, make sure to back up your original Starfield DLL files. Create a new folder called Original DLL Files. Copy all the existing DLLs into it and keep it safe. That way, if the game crashes or fails to launch, you can easily restore the originals. Alright guys, now drag and drop the Streamline SDK files into the same folder where starfield.exe is located. Once that's done, the mod installation is complete. Let's launch the game and check if DLSS Enabler is working. When the game loads, look at the bottom line. You should see the label OptiScaler loading. That means the DLSS Enabler mod has been installed correctly. Now go into the game settings. Navigate to upscaling and select DLSS. From here, choose the upscaling quality preset you prefer, quality, balanced, or performance. I'm using balance mode since it gives me more FPS while keeping visuals sharp. Next, turn on frame generation and apply the settings. For graphics, I'm running on ultra presets to really push the visuals. Once that's set, jump into gameplay and let's see how it performs. Let's press the tilde key to open the DLSS Enabler mod menu. You'll see a lot of tweaks here, so let's go through them one by one. At the top, we've got screen space ray trace effects. Turning this on gives more realistic shadows compared to native ones. It costs a few FPS, but nowhere near as heavy as full ray tracing. Next, scroll down to Ghostbuster. This setting helps minimize ghosting artifacts around characters and HUD elements after enabling frame generation. Definitely worth turning on. You'll also find options for VSync and frame limit depending on how you want to control your refresh. Reflex Boost. This setting helps minimize high latency issues after enabling frame generation. Below that, you'll find dynamic frame generation. In the latest version, we also have two extra settings, DFG and Target FPS Control. Turn on Dynamic Frame Generation and set DFG to Auto. You'll then see the Target FPS Threshold option. Here, you can set the FPS you want, like 120 or 144, or even further. The mod will automatically suggest which base frames and which multiplier to use in order to reach that target. If you're aiming for better latency without generating too many extra frames, just tweak the Target FPS Control to a lower value around 90 or 75. By setting a lower target, the mod balances frame generation more conservatively, so you get less input lag while still enjoying smoother gameplay. You can monitor FPS counting use statistic bar settings on DLSS Enabler mode menu. Just turn on that. Now you can see the generated frames, latency, frame gen multipliers, the upscaling type, and your base frames, plus which multiplier you're currently using. Remember, frame generation always adds some latency, but dynamic frame generation helps reduce that cost compared to static multipliers by adjusting those FPS levels. If you want to force higher multipliers, go to MFG mode override. Select 3x or 4x, click Persist to save, and dismiss the message and restart the game. After restarting, you'll see your FPS jumps to 4x multipliers. Personally, I recommend sticking with 3x multiframe gen. It gives the best balance between performance and latency. You can also use different upscaler types. Just press the Insert key on your keyboard and the OptiScaler menu will pop up. From here, you can switch between FSR, DLSS, or XeSS depending on your GPU. Then save your settings to the INI file. So that's the full setup about multi-frame generation in Starfield using DLSS Enabler. With features like Dynamic Frame Gen, Ghostbuster, and Target FPS Control, this mod makes frame generation more customizable and more useful, helping to minimize graphical artifacts while keeping latency as low as possible. And the best part is, it's completely free. Huge thanks to the DLSS Enabler modding community for making this accessible even for older GPUs. Alright guys, I hope this tutorial gave you a clear idea of how to unlock multi-frame generation with the latest DLSS Enabler. If it helped, drop a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to join the community. I'll be bringing you multi-frame generation tutorials in the future, so stay tuned. And until then, have a great day.